Okay, today we're learning the minhag having on the kearah two tafshilin. One is normally either some people put the wing roasted, or some people put the neck of the chicken roasted, or it says in the origin we're going to see you could put even a zeroya of the animal roasted. So and then the other tafshil normally by most people it's the egg and the kearah. So where does it coming from? So it's a Mishnah in Pesachim Daf Kuf Yudale that says what they put in front of the Masadar Haggadah says v'shnei tafshilin. It says among everything they bring in front of him, they bring two tafshilin. Now, what was the two tafshilin originally? So the Gemara, in the next page, the Gemara says, Omar Rav Huna, silka v'aroiza. The time of the Gemara, Rav Huna put on one tafshil, it was beets, silka, and that was aroiza, rice. That was before the gezerah that in European countries they didn't eat rice. They brought rice. Rava, the Gemara says, have a mahadar silka v'aroiza. He was so careful to do that since his Rebbe Rav Huna did it. It says, "Oil v'nafam p'mud Rav Huna." Oh, Omar Rav Ashi Shmamina the Rav Huna les the chayis lo Rabbi Yochanan ben Nuri. The Dafka did it to show the halacha is not Rabbi Yochanan ben Nuri, a Tanya Rabbi Yochanan ben Nuri. The Tanya Rabbi Yochanan ben Nuri Omer oires min doganu v'chayovin al chemutz kores v'odom yotzeva yidechavos b'Pesach. According to Rabbi Yochanan ben Nuri, that's the only opinion which is we don't paskin like him, and that's why Rabbi Huna did what they did, and Rabbi did what they did to show halacha is not like Rabbi Yochanan. He holds oires that could become chometz. And that's why, according to him, you could make matzah out of it, because you could make matzah only something that could become chometz, and you're watching it, it should not become chometz. Lamaisa, that was Rav Huna v'Rava, that their two tafshilin was beets and rice. Now, Chizkiya Omar, afilu dag ubeitza she'olam. So that's the first time we see over here in the Gemara the hint for egg. The chiddush of Chizkiya that you could put fish, and on top of the fish you fried it with the egg. You don't even see the egg. That's the chiddush. You don't even see the egg. It's just a coating on the fish. It's called two tafshilin. The fish is one tafshil. The egg. That's the first time we see in the Gemara the union of the egg. Rav Yosef Omar tzorich shnei mine boser. Two type of meat. Echad zecher lePesach, echad zecher lechagiga. Oh, so now we see another idea. The takia could be two dishes of meat. One for zecher lePesach, one is zecher lechagiga. We brought chagiga with the Pesach erev Pesach because you're not allowed to eat the Pesach on a hungry stomach. So you eat before korban chagiga from the meat of chagiga, then you eat from the Pesach. So that's as far as we see. Oh, so now there's one thing important over here. Rashbam says over here like this: when we brought the opinion of Rabbi Yosef, one zecher lePesach, one zecher lechagiga, the Rashbam says, shnei min lebosor tzoli keneged haPesach. The one that you roast, that's correspond to Pesach, korban Pesach. Umevushal, the one you cook, that's keneged chagiga. That's how the Rabbeinu Chananel over here, he says the pshat and so according to him, let's say we bring the zeroya to the kearah, zecher lePesach, that's have to be roasted. That's the most klal Yisrael. That's what they do. They roast the neck or the wing, and the beya, the egg, should be mevushal according to the Rashbam. It's chagiga. However, the Tosfos disagree with that. He says the Tosfos says like this, that the halacha, here's Pirush Rabbeinu Chananel, tzli zecher lePesach, mevushal zecher lechagiga. So according to this, the egg should be not roasted, but mevushal. We're going to see it's not so poshut. Then he has v'lo nehira. The Tosfos disagree with that. Why? The kalmel and kebentema, the en chagiga tzoli. Bentema hold the chagigas also have to come roasted. According to him, the egg, if it's zecher lechagiga, have to come roasted too. The masnisan asya kavosa. that we see a support on the Mishnah that Das Yochid of Ben Taimo, that the Chagiga was also have to be roasted. Mimel lo chanira, the Tarvayu Mevusholin, v'chen mashma loshen tafshilin. Says, since the whole thing is Zeicher, Bechal doesn't have to be anything roasted. According to the Torah, says, according to Adarabba, both of them have to be Mevushal, not roasted. As we're going to see, Lamaisa, the Minhag Oilam, definitely most, like I said, I think all, if not most, if not all, but I think it's all, that the zeroya or the neck, it's tzli, it's roasted. The egg, some people do roasted, some people do just Mevushal. So according to Rabbeinu Chananel, that's the right way to do it. One sleeve, one mevushal. According to Tosfos Mashma, no, both mevushal, or if you want both roasted, because the halacha, it doesn't say that. I'm just adding to that. According to that, Tosfos would be if the minhag is a tzli, do both tzli then, because chagiga also came roasted. Now we're going to see. This was the Gemara and some of the Meforsha Gemara. Now we're going to see the two. The way you bring that best of shilin. It says like this: the best of shilin, then Tov Ayin Gimel. Echad lepesach, echad zecher lechagiga. Me'ezeh min sheyirtzeh. You could bring, according to that, there's no restrictions the way we do today. Dafka egg, dafka wing, dafka egg, whatever you want. Like in the Gemara, so they brought beets and rice. V'nohagu, but the minhag, however, again, it's important to know what's minhag, what's meikar adin. The question is, let's say one day, 1 year, let's say something is not available, you forgot to prepare something, so if you know the origin, you know where to go crazy or not to go so crazy about it. It says, v'nagu b'bosor ubeya, v'nagu likach zroya, most, I can't say most, a lot of people put the wing as zroya, whether of behema, whether of the chicken, the remes, it's only a remes, lebezroya and the tuya. Okay. Now, that's halacha. I'm going to skip legabe this year. We're going to talk about it next shiur. Because if it's zecher lechagiga, Motzei Shabbos, like this year, the Kviyus, they didn't bring in Beis Hamikdash chagiga. So the question is, if this Shabbos you have to put egg on the kearah, like I said, we're going to talk about it another time. Now, so again, the what you put for zecher lechagiga or zecher lePesach, it's all minhagim, whatever you want. That's the lashon of the Torah. Me'ezeh min sheyirtzeh, whatever you want, you could put in it. It's just to commemorate those two in Yom, to remember that. And the minhag is we put zroya and egg. But then the Beiseza brings him the kolbe. Kosav kolbe. Dam Yerushalmi sheminhag lekacha zroya or beitza. Now, why we take the egg? What's the choyre? Could take anything else. Why did they decide to bring egg? Even you're going to say it's chagiga. What egg has to do with chagiga? He says kloimar boer rachmona lemifrak yasona bedrom romama. In Aramaic, the egg, the word of egg, is beim with the iron, not with the tzaddik in Aramaic. And it's also hinted the word boy, he wants, beim, boy. So we say, well, Hashem wants to get us out of the golus, with a proud hand, with the upper hand. So that's a hint of that. When the golus now, we put the egg in, part of the hint in that egg, why we choose davka egg, because Hashem wants to get us out of the golus. Then he like this: "V'chos avoid when again says tzli mizra behema zecher lezra netuya." Davka looks like the minhagim was to bring zroya from animal, not from chicken. So some had this minhag, and they roasted, and that's zecher lezroya hanetuya. Hashem going to show His hand before the geula. Yeah, the end soilin also b'shipud, because originally the korban Pesach they used to roast it in a shipud shel rimonim. Bring a spit from tree of pomegranate, and the reason we don't do it, vatam through zecher lepesach. It's only a zecher. Upesach lo nitza ela b'shipud shel rimon. V'im nachzar achat shipud shel rimon yetorach godol. You're asking to do for that minhag a big, to go out of your way. Who could get the spit made out of a pomegranate tree? That's why they say just do it on the pechomim. Now, v'amavushal oisim mibeya, the cook, the chagiga, so do it from the egg. Zeicher, by the way, he doesn't mention chagiga over here yet. He says zeicher la'avelus. So we saw so far about the egg. It's for the chagiga, And the reason the Kolboy says we'll do for the Chagiga egg to bring the inyan of beer in Aramaic, rotzen, Hashem has a rotzen to get it out of Golus, and then he says another inyan, that the egg is on Lela Pesach, that we celebrate our freedom, we celebrate the Yom Tov, we have to remember Avelis. What's the Avelis? Bes HaMikdash. Because to show we're not in Golus, we're really not eating a real Korban Pesach, we don't have a real Chagiga, so the egg is Meichel Avelim, that's why according to the Kolboy we're eating the egg. It looks like a very simple reason. It's just easy to cook. Just bring that. Okay. Now then the Ramos says over here the Darche Moshe v'nira de mezenish tarev v'haminag le'echel beitzim b'leil Pesach. That's the minhag from the last reason that we brought from the Kolbet. It's Meichel Avelim. That's why we eat. So again, we see so far the egg is Zecher L'Chagiga. We see the egg is Zecher Bo'er Rachmona Miloshan Bria. That Hashem wants to get us out of Golus. And it's also Meichel Avelim. In Shulchan Aruch, in Tov Ayin Gimel, says like this. The Mechaber says, Shnei Tafshilin, Echad Zecher L'Pesach, Echad Zecher L'Chagiga, V'nohagu B'bosor Ubeya. Yeah, the Mishnah Berurah bring from the, if people remember, it's only a minhag, not the chazon to mezalzel in the minhag. So he says, if somebody sees, we're going to talk about in the future shiurim legabe that afikoyman you cannot eat achila gasa when you're completely already full because you're not doing the mitzvah. Then achila gasa lav shmei achila. So he says, in case somebody says, you know what, I have to skip the egg. Otherwise, if I eat it, I'm gonna be so full I won't be able to eat afikoyman. So that's another reason. That's what you could skip because it's not really one of the ingredients of that, like we bring the morer. It's not. It's just zeicher. Yeah, it's important. We should do all the minhagim. It's very important. But in case you have a fikoyman or eating the egg, so skip the egg. Anyway, so that's derech hagav. Shnei tavshilin echad zecher levet. That the mechaber says ve'echad zecher lechagigam v'nagu b'bosor ubeitza. Okay. Then like this, the Ramos says, "Va'abosor noyek she'ezroya." The minhag is zroya. I think in some minhagim, like I said, they bring the neck of the chicken, they roasted it. V'noagu she'abosor yetzli ala gecholim, as we mentioned from the kolboy, they didn't matriach him to make it with the spit of the pomegranate wood. Va'abeitzo tiyeh mevusheles. So he said the mechaber it should be mevushel, not roasted. The Ramos says, "V'adin sluyo v'chen hagen be'ireno." Looks like by the Ramos, the Krakow, they did take roast the egg, and I mentioned this already before. That's machlokes achronim. According to the Ramos, you could roast the egg. According to the Taz, you could roast the egg, even though they don't eat sli b'layla hazeh, but it does not go that far to the egg. And we mentioned the Maharshal saying that the egg should not be roasted, and that taka also minhag Chabad that the egg they don't roast. But dafka it's a cooked hard-boiled egg. It's not roasted. Also, if you're gonna say mitzad avelus, avelim they don't eat roasting. It's a little bit malchusdik roasted food. So adam mitzad avelus, like the mechaber says, it should be just mevushal, not roasted. But wherever you do. Like I said, according to the Ramo, it's okay roasting. According to the Taz, it's okay. Marshal says not to. Mechaber mashma, just mevushal, and that, like I said, Minhag Chabad also do it just mevushal. Now, there's another reason that Choik Yaakov bring. Why we bring egg? It's good to know when you do something why you're doing it. Why do you bring it? It says. We said Zecher L'Chagigo, and he brings V'Harokeach Kosav is the Amre Shlogen Shnei Tafshilin Zecher L'Moshe V'Aharon. They were a very important part of our Geula, Moshe Aaron, that took us out of Golus. So the two Tafshilin, one connected Moshe, one connected Aaron. That's why we take the two Tafshilin. L'maisa the Ramo brings in Tov Ayin Vov, 3 chapters later, he brings another reason. He said like this: the Rama uses the word v'nireli. V'nireli atam mishum shelel tisha b'av nikva b'leil Pesach. in Hilchas Rosh Chodesh, he brings the Ramah over there. You could figure out the whole calendar of the year from Pesach. And boy says Adbash. Aleph the Pesach, Tov. Tov it's Tisha B'Av. Always. So this year, Motzei Shabbos is Aleph the Pesach, which is Sunday. Yeah, Motzei Shabbos Aleph. So Tisha B'Av, you know, the calendar will be Motzei Shabbos, Sunday. So he says since always Aleph the Pesach, it's the level of Tisha B'Av, and over there he says the remes for it al matzah sumaroirim yechlu. Matzah is a little Pesach, and the maroirim, the morer, the bitter part, it's Tisha B'Av. That's why he says zechel mishum shalel Tisha B'Av lel Pesach. So Memela, we're eating the egg. That's the night of Avail is going to be in Tisha B'Av. So we always remember in the highest level of Simcha, which is Man Cheruseinu, Leila Seder. We also, it's like the same concept. We're breaking the cup by the Chasana to remember the Chorban Beis Hamikdash. Over here we have a little bit. The egg is a little bit to don't go overboard with your Simcha. A little bit. Always remember we're still in the and it says v'oid zecher lechurban shen korban. So the meaning like this. We're going for the Churban Beis Hamikdash, which is it's even there wouldn't be tonight Tisha B'Av, and also specifically timed. So Lamaisa you could ask according to this, maybe we should not have the egg then the second night if Tisha B'Av is only the first night, and not second. But Lamaisa all the Acharonim brings will do all of them both nights because it's other many reasons for it. Plus Laila Sheni is Sofek of Rishon. So Mela we'll bring it. We'll bring good night. Okay, all right.